Mr. Deputy Speaker, I rise to support the amendments to the bill to better protect borrowers and also for closer regulation of the industry. Many seek moneylenders over the banks because of their ease and convenience. Some do not qualify for bank loans and therefore resort to money lending services for short-term credit. These people are often vulnerable, and every effort must be taken to ensure that they know what they are getting themselves into. Education is timely, and counselling and management of finance is perhaps important, as the total outstanding amount in licensed money lending and the number of borrowers is on the rise. In 2016, it was tabulated that 367 million was borrowed by close to 40,000 borrowers. A year before that, the amount was 239 million for 35,000 borrowers. Although the proposed regulations will protect low-income families and prevent them from borrowing beyond their means, I wonder if our efforts to regulate the industry may also inadvertently push some of these borrowers into the outstretched arms of illegal moneylenders. This may lead to another set of issues. As a Member of Parliament, I'm sure many of us in this House have met families who have borrowed from illegal moneylenders and have their lives turned upside down. In my own town, in our effort to drive home the message against illegal money lending, our own branch office became a target of intimidation. As for licensed moneylenders, many of us have also come across a growing number of residents who are facing problems with their repayments. Paying the principal amount borrowed together with the interests is enough to break many. Therefore, the new loan cap to protect borrowers, especially from licensed moneylender, is of course a welcome one. No more money lending, no more hopping around moneylenders. We will not have a situation where moneylender A will not know that moneylender B is loaning the same amount to the same family. The move to obtain credit reports before issuing a loan is perhaps long overdue, and this, taken in tandem with the measures undertaken by banks and credit card companies, will be welcome. The MLCB will act perhaps like a goalkeeper and verify lenders' loan statuses before a loan is granted. But will the imposition of a nominal fee for the checking of records put off moneylenders from exercise due diligence, no matter how small the amount may be? What if they do not check the record and continue to issue loans more than the cap that's stipulated within the Act? Will the registrar have the necessary powers to enforce that moneylenders fall in line, and that they will have the power to take punitive and deterrent action against such errant moneylenders? The call for regulation in this bill is timely. Seeking the registrar's approval before employing assistants will enhance professionalism in the industry. Likewise, getting approval before increasing shareholding or becoming a shareholder will put the brakes on unsavory characters entering into this industry. We have about 160 licensed moneylenders in Singapore, and more than 100 of them have registered themselves as companies, whereby they are required to submit annual audited accounts to the registrar. I would, however, like to ask the Senior Minister of State, what are the measures being taken to get the remaining one-third of moneylenders to comply and register? What if they do not comply? Will the registrar also have the powers to get them to fall in line? Accountability and transparency are the key words of the amendments tabled in this bill. But are those who are borrowing aware of the cost involved and consequences of getting a loan from moneylenders? Will the moneylenders be required to advise them accordingly? And will the registrar ensure that they do? As stated earlier, educating vulnerable groups, especially low-income families, of the pitfalls of failure to repay loans to moneylenders are important. The owe money, pay money signs that were perhaps more common in the past are fast becoming a thing of the past. But we still read isolated cases of paint being splashed on doors and debtors being intimidated, and even other debtors being forced to become runners for illegal moneylenders. We must not be complacent in our home team efforts to crack down on illegal money lending, but it's also important that we regulate the legal and licensed moneylender industry to prevent any abuse. It would perhaps be educational for members present in this House if the Senior Minister of State could share if any studies have been conducted to ascertain the reasons as to why people borrow from moneylenders. What are the causes and what are the costs? What is the average amount borrowed and the interest rate levied? Are those interest rates explained to the borrower, and are those rates acceptable? Because many of them take loans perhaps in desperate situations and agree to almost everything under the sun. Mr. Deputy Speaker, there was a recent letter to the forum page on the 10th of November 2017 asking if a loan facility administered by a government body could be implemented, which borrowers are likely to trust more and approach for assistance rather than private moneylenders. The writer stated that proposed restrictions will only drive more of these desperate for cash into the clutches of unlicensed moneylenders. She goes on to suggest that government-administered lending combined with counselling rather than mere legislative changes to borrowing amounts will be more helpful. I tend to agree with the counselling part, but perhaps government-administered lending is something that I'm not comfortable with. The onus is on the borrower to exercise due diligence and to ascertain if the loan required is necessary, and whether it's possible for them to repay the sum within the stipulated period. This is where the government can perhaps lend a hand by making available counsellors who advise people in need of their options. Perhaps a dedicated unit within the registry would go a long way in advising people who would like to seek the services of a moneylender. My last clarification has to do with debt recovery. I wish to ask the Ministry if there are acceptable standards of debt recovery that are set and how they are being policed. I've come across feedback that there are sometimes methods that border on criminal intimidation. How many moneylenders employ their own debt recovery agents, and how many make use of third-party debt recovery companies? How many cases of intimidation have been prosecuted or reported? While we also need to protect the interests of honest moneylenders dealing with difficult clients, we must also similarly ensure that less than scrupulous moneylenders do not intimidate vulnerable clients. Despite that, I support the bill fully.